Whenever you do a film in the jungle, you know already ahead of time what you're going to get into. We show enough of what, for instance, the Predator has done to human beings in order to create and establish him as the villain, as the ultimate villain. And if we don't do something against him, he's going to do the same to us and let the audience feel like, oh my God, you know, what is he going to do now with the rest of the guys that are in the jungle?
I mean, if I were going to put it on a list, it would rank low.
Oh, really?
Mid-low.
Let's see, what is it, 2026?
22 years.
22 years I avoided this film.
It's ugly, it's gross, it sucks.
It's great. You should watch it. Here's what's good about it.
I enjoyed it. I don't think it's perfect, but I thought for what it was a fun ride.
At first glance, it looks like a stylized, bloody, animated spin on a familiar franchise. But within minutes, it becomes clear this isn't just another entry in the Predator canon.
The animated Predator movie just changed the entire franchise forever, but not in the way you're thinking. After 8 movies spanning 37 years, Predator has been fighting its own mythology. We've seen it all at this point. Hunts in the jungle, failed crossovers, and a brief renaissance with the 2022 banger that was Prey. Sometimes we got so close to a sci-fi masterpiece, and then we got lost in whatever the fuck Alien vs. Predator was. But there's one major question that's still left unanswered. What are the true motives behind the monster? Is it just hunting blindly for its next kill? Or is it just a mascot for machismo in the 80s? What if I told you that all of those questions were answered with Predator Killer of Killers? So in this video, we're going elbow deep into that transformation, how Killer of Killers adds a new dimension to the lore of the monster, how it elevates the role of the human characters within each story, and how it's quietly setting up the stage for an Avengers-level crossover with Badlands, Alien Earth, and the possibility of a fully realized AVP. To really get the scope of everything that's happening, we have to start at the beginning. The very first scene in Predator Killer of Killers switched up everything that we know about the Yautja. Before a single human is chopped up like sashimi, we get a single line of ancient code flashing across the screen. Go forth among the stars and seek only the strongest prey. They shall be your trophy. Become the Killer of Killers. Roll credits. Yeah, too much cinema sense. The lights are off and away we go with immediate aura farming. It reads like scripture, not exposition. I love how this simple choice immediately reframes everything that we're watching. This isn't just another blood-soaked action flick with an animated coat of paint. It's a breakdown of a warrior culture that has a sacred codex, a tradition passed through generations of Yautja. You see, most Predator movies start off with chaos. A human is about to get jumped, the predator's arriving on the scene, but not this movie. Killer of Killers starts by expanding the monster's backstory. We finally get a taste of the juicy lore that we've only seen from the comics, and by the end, Killer of Killers finally throws us straight into the deep end. Yautja Prime, the Predator homeworld live and in color, mi hermano. Mwah, it is absolutely... Future, help me out here, bro.
Sensational.
It's a living, breathing civilization, ritualistic, hierarchical, and most importantly, it's fractured. This rite of passage is for new and experienced predators alike. They have to find and face the toughest creatures across the galaxy, not just to get their stripes, but to fight in front of the chungus called the Grendel King. And in the great words of Anakin Skywalker,
this is where the fun begins.
in the Viking segment, grief is treated as strength. Ursa's drive to bury her son is not a weakness, it's what earns her the Predator's attention. In Feudal Japan, the Predator doesn't interrupt a duel between two brothers, it merely observes and studies it. There's a component of honor built into that moment. Full-on Ghost of Tsushima style. And in the World War II segment, Torres didn't win with firepower, but with strategy and wit. Every duel feels like a dance, a conversation between predator and prey. In the film, you're not just turned into chicken teriyaki. The predators are evaluating every single move that you make. They are part judge, executioner, and part god. Pero Ricky, hasn't this been the entire frickin' formula, the shtick, since 1987? Well, yeah, that's true, but the format is completely different. When we finally reach the arena in Yautja Prime, we are no longer just watching a random hunt. We are witnessing a trial of faith in live action. A crazy ceremony that's engineered into their belief system, built not just on conquest, but conviction. Enter the Bowser with Predator dreadlocks. This dude is called the Grendel King. This entrance mama is only rivaled by Trunks in Dragon Ball Z. My dude has balls of steel, showing up in front of his subjects dripped out with a cloak made out of xenomorph tails. He is baller, but don't let the looks fool you. He isn't just a warlord. In a way, he serves as a high priest for the entire culture. He represents the apex of the hunt, not just physically, but philosophically. Only the most worthy of adversaries, those that have bested their own demons, aka the other predators, are worthy of getting a shot at the king. Now that I think about it, it's basically like Ric Flair was writing their honor code. To be the man, you got to beat the man. Okay, sorry, I had to do that. But here's the thing. The ultimate form of glory for the predator is officially not just killing the weak, but conquering the conqueror. If you've seen any of the Predator movies so far, I get it. This might feel redundant, but this reframing shifts everything. The predator is no longer a monster in the woods finding game to bring back home. He is a mirror that's held up to humanity's darkest instincts. So let's go deeper into what this means for the entire franchise. Okay, so this is the first time in decades where the humans in the story don't feel like just targets or WWII action figures. They are basically reflections of the entire species. Deeply broken people who earn their survival not with sheer luck, but through personal growth. Let's start with Ursa, the Viking muscle mommy. Her story is about honoring her dead son, yes, but also it's about letting go. She starts off the film with nothing left to lose after her son got John Wicked. It breaks her at a visceral level, but in the moment of truth, it inspires her and gives her a reason to keep going. Her final battle isn't about winning, it's about proving that grief doesn't make you weak, it makes you human. Then you have Kenji, an exiled shinobi badass that's auditioning to be in the Akatsuki. This dude could make Leo and Donatello start clapping from the sidelines. He is a man marked by shame. But thankfully, his segment is not just a revenge arc. He is fighting to regain his identity, and the film treats every single frame of his story like it's poetry. The snowfall, the silence, it's like a haiku section at a Ghost of Tsushima. I'm not kidding you. It's a confirmation that redemption is its own form of power. Then, of course, we meet Minene, El Brodel Torres. The pilot that nobody believes in is the one that saves the day in the end. His story is probably the most raw out of the entire anthology. There's no swords allá arriba in the sky, okay? You have to survive through wit and cunning. But that survival is earned. It feels like a Queen's Gambit chess game in the middle of the air. The dude was deciphering Predator tech in real time, not because he's got Luke Skywalker levels of plot armor, but because his life depends on it. He adapts. He learns the Predator's patterns and reacts on instinct, and the movie rewards that. Do you see the big picture now? In every story, the Predator doesn't just appear to unalive people. It's testing its prey to find the worthiest opponents. Completely different than what we got in the earlier films. In the original, Dutch wins by going primal, literally covering himself in mud and ditching his guns to fight the monster in his environment. In Predator 2, Harrigan does the opposite. He survives by outlasting his opponent, not outsmarting him. But here, the characters survive because they are morally and spiritually tested. It wasn't about brute strength or grit, it was about internal transformation to beat your demons. If you think about it, the plot twist is that in this film, the Predator isn't a villain. He is the gatekeeper for the real boss fight that's gonna come later. I don't care what anybody says. That's not just a cliche sci-fi action flick. That's called building an entire mythology from the ground up. This is the moment where all the real Predator fans absolutely lost their shit. We finally see the Yautja homeworld rendered perfectly. There's a towering coliseum, weapons from every human era. We watch the Predators kneel before the Grendel King. But beneath all of that pompous ceremony, there is a fracture. You see, we already know that the Yautja aren't all the same. They're a civilization that gets fully divided based on their code. Some of them are traditionalists, but the others decide to break it. Some of the Yautja hunt on their own terms, and these are the ones called the bad bloods that go rogue, which we are going to see in later projects. Hint, hint, Predator Badlands. And at the center of that ideological storm is the Grendel King, the frickin' Elden Ring boss, part ruler and part executioner. It's not just a test for individual members of the tribe. There are full-on factions now. Some of them believe that the hunt has become impure, and others want to expand it. You can almost feel the tension boiling under the surface. And then we get the plot twist, the cryostasis vaults. This single piece of tech redefines everything we know about the story, because the Predators have Dutch, Harrigan, Naru, and who knows how many other iconic warriors that we've seen throughout the franchise frozen in time. It's finally confirming that the Yautja are not just hunting individuals, they are choosing champions. This movie opens the door to something that's never really been explored in the franchise, a possible civil war. Imagine the Yautja clans turning on each other, not for territory, but for ideology. A war not over resources, but for what it means to hunt with honor. One side clinging to the old rituals, and the other embracing chaos. This isn't just sci-fi anymore, Papa. This is straight up theology, stacked with teeth and guns that would make the Doomslayer's rocks as hard as Arnold's biceps. But that right there is the moment where big franchises usually fall into a trap. With the success that we saw in Prey, they could go apeshit, make more movies, greenlight the next spin-off TV shows. We need it to be bigger and flashier. But Killer of Killers pulls the perfect Uno reverse card. If you think about it, this movie has very little dialogue. It tightens the focus on showing you the character building through physical action. And in doing so, it's creating a new format that is the future for the Predator saga: anthology storytelling. We got 3 separate timelines, 3 separate tones, not loosely connected, but instead totally and thematically synchronized. Every segment explores a core idea of what it means to be human through a different protagonist, handling grief, honor, and survival, and they're using the Predator as a lens to examine it. This changes everything, Papa, because now Predator stories can truly flex. If you want a horror political thriller, drop the Predator into a Cold War dispute at the border. You want a fantasy epic? Good, set it in ancient Babylon during a solar eclipse festival. The options are literally endless. This is the opposite of milking an IP, something that's super prevalent in Hollywood nowadays. It's called world building with freedom. Each hunt would become a challenge to show stories as individual Lego blocks that are building a growing mythology. With this format, if you're asking me, Predator stories can outlive all the trends, outrun the box office fatigue, and most importantly, transcend their own franchise. Listen, for a movie that operates mostly in silence, Killer of Killers speaks volumes about what's coming next. At first glance, this feels kinda self-contained. 3 standalone stories across history. No crossover, no sequel baiting. Well, maybe a little bit there at the end. But if you pay attention to the details, the bigger picture starts to become clear. Predator Killer of Killers is the glue between Prey, Badlands, and Alien Earth. Throughout the film, we get subtle glimpses of a larger infrastructure. The Grendel King has xenomorph tails tied to his armor. The trophy room has references to alien skulls from other franchises, like the one from Independence Day. These aren't just Easter eggs, they are blueprints for what's coming next. Then, when it comes to the post-credit scene, a stinger that felt so unexpected it reframes the entire franchise. Like I mentioned before, we got official confirmation that Naru, Dutch, and Mike Harrigan didn't get John Wicked. They are waiting for their turn at the arena. This is the key that we have been waiting for. Killer of Killers is the bridge between the mythical tone of Prey from 2022 with the canon of the original films. And now it's setting up the stage for a new live-action movie, Badlands, where all the pieces are going to link up. They are setting up an unbelievable narrative link to the alien universe that doesn't feel like a cash grab. It is actually earned. Elle Fanning's character is revealed to be a Weyland-Yutani android because her eyes literally roll back and they reveal the logo. In one of the other shots, we see a piece of tech that has the Weyland-Yutani logo tied to it, so it's not just a random coincidence. And then we learn that the entire story is based around her helping a younger Predator in his first hunt. Disney's been prepping us for a reboot of the coolest monster fight in movie history. Here's the truth, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. AVP failed because it felt like it was a theme park crossover on crack, instead of feeling like a collision between two cinematic giants. But now, Disney's actually trying to flesh out the reboot instead of rushing it. Based on the success of Prey, which was a huge hit, Killer of Killers is now recontextualizing the Yautja not just as slasher villains, but as mythic beings bound by a creed in every step of the way. Alien Earth is reimagining the origins of the xenomorphs on Earth, not just as bioweapons, but as an evolutionary inevitability. Creatures born from an industrial nightmare, and they're perfected through fear. By giving each one room to breathe, culturally, narratively, and aesthetically, we get two mythologies that can clearly coexist in a brand new crossover. The AVP reboot, if it's done right, isn't a versus movie. It's a collision of two different philosophies. Ritual versus genetic experimentation. Honor versus survival. The hunt versus the hive mind. Think Prometheus mixed with Predator 2. Dune-level storytelling mixed with Apocalypto-level intensity. And homie, I'm not gonna keep my mouth shut. Fuck yes, I am all here for it. Okay, I've been yapping for like half an hour, so after breaking it all down, one thing has become abundantly clear. Predator Killer of Killers didn't just fix the franchise by making a better movie. It did something much more important. It restored the meaning behind the hunt. This wasn't just an anthology story. It was a reintroduction to the Yautja as more than just adrenaline junkies. By doing so, we finally see the truth. The Predator is not here to unalive people. The Predator is here to judge. We see human characters who weren't just victims or survivors, but mirrors to our own destructive impulses. They didn't win because they were strong. They endured because they grew as people. How? By facing the darkest part of themselves. They freaking earned it. This wasn't world building for the sake of expanding the franchise by itself. It was intentional. It felt poetic. And now with Badlands and Alien Earth converging by the end of this year, the door is left wide open to do AVP the right way. We're not looking at a crossover, homie. We're starting a cinematic event 4 decades in the making, with AVP not as a gimmick, but as an inevitable clash of two philosophies: the spiritual hunter versus the unrelenting hive. So if this is really the new direction, if this is where it all begins, then Killer of Killers didn't just bring the Predator back. It gave the hunt a purpose, and it was worth every second of screen time. I'm gonna make a full-on breakdown of how Disney should handle AVP, but while I cook that up, make sure you check out the other breakdowns that I have on this channel ready for you.